successful like career content creators, you know?
Yeah, you got like the Pewds, you got like Jimmy, the Mr. Beast, and like you got that toy
Ludwig,
kid.
you
What
know, like even dominate.
he's been around for 2 years, like really in the big popular eye, you know, like it was after
I,
the first subathon.
okay, well, I will dominate. It's been on YouTube and Twitch since like fucking I don't know when.
Yeah, but like
Like,
look at Dom, and then look at like
yeah,
Scara. Ooh, faded than ho. But like look at Scara and look at like
yeah.
people
Oh,
and
Scar's a good
Cutie Pie.
example too. Yeah.
Cutie Pie is also like in that same little group of people, but he
Yeah.
felt it off.
Oh yeah, Cutie Pie fell off. Cutie Pie got what he dreamed of though. He moved to Japan. He's just living life.
Cutie Pie, not Pewdie Pie, for the record. I'm saying.
Oh, okay. PewDiePie.
Although PewDiePie is making it big in Japan, doing a great job, living his best life, but I'm talking about I'm a Cutie Pie and how he was in
Oh
that
yeah,
same.
that's
Yeah,
that's who I'm talking about. That's what Cutie
yeah.
Pie has done.
But he lives in
Yeah,
Japan
yeah,
now.
yeah. He moved
What?
to Japan. I'm pretty sure.
No, Michael Santana did not move to Japan. There's no way.
I think he made a vlog about it.
Damn. I had no idea. I don't. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't watch his content anymore because he stopped doing league stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch you play Apex Legends. I just don't. I don't like Apex Legends that much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe he didn't. I don't
it's not a
know.
bad game. I'd say that the shooting mechanics in Apex are pretty good from what I heard, but I don't know. I don't like. I don't like BRs that much anymore. Let's start with that. Actually, hello and welcome to the One to
Oh,
Ten
restarting.
podcast. I mean,
I still like looking
we.
this up.
I mean, you can still look it up while we intro. We're
That's
good, baby.
fair.
Yeah, no, we're grilling and chilling over on the interweb this time. We're doing a little digital format, me and Parma
I
only.
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if Cutie Pie did move to Japan. I don't think he did.
I don't. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a trip.
I know
I was just
I
bugging.
know PewDiePie moved to Japan. That's like a well
Did he?
known thing. Yeah, he retired basically, quote unquote, from YouTube. He makes videos still, but he's not like making videos to create content in the purpose of like following
That's
trends.
fair.
He's making
That's fair,
only
bro.
the shit he wants to make from now on. Because he's done enough. He's done it for 10 years plus. He doesn't need to do it anymore.
I mean, when you're like top 5 content creator for like a decade,
He's
and
he's
like you have a
he's been number
week.
one since T Series thing back in fucking 2016 or whatever it was.
I didn't know. I don't have the exact numbers. I didn't want to call to it. You know.
Well, the big point was that Mr. Beast recently passed him in subscriber count. So he
Yeah.
finally has been dethroned as number one, and now Jimmy is number one.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
isn't there like a saying like if you're ever featured on like the South Park or the Simpsons, you're like truly famous or something, or
Yeah.
deplorable? I don't know.
I imagine I imagine that to be true though, to some level, you know. And he definitely
Yeah.
was. They had the Cartman bra thing, so that was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So what's going on in your world this week, dude? It's Thanksgiving week. Happy
Yeah.
holidays to all the viewers celebrating if you're American and on our soil, and if you're
What?
one
Ooh.
of the
What food are you most looking forward to, bro? Let's just start there.
oh, dude. So we have like a whiteboard at
Are
my
you
day
better
job.
yet? Better yet? Better yet?
Okay,
Better
go ahead,
yet?
go ahead, go ahead.
Thanksgiving food draft.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't think the two of us
Let's
can do a draft. You think so?
you could do it
Also,
back and
did you just
forth.
get
I pick.
quieter? No, you're fine.
I'm
No,
not trying to.
I don't know. Maybe I just bumped my headset. We're good. I was making sure we're
Okay.
good. I hope
Yeah,
everyone else can hear you
I
too.
literally 2-person draft is like most perfect. It's just back and forth.
All right, how many? How many
5
items?
picks.
5?
Five.
Let's
Yeah,
do 4.
dude.
Let's do 4.
Thanksgiving. All right, four.
Let's do 4. Because we can
All
leave
right.
some ones off the table and piss some people off in the comments section. So if we miss
That's
your
fair.
favorite items, or even if you think some of our bottom ones are trash, let us know down below. We should have picked instead. So I'll give you the
That's fair.
pleasure since you decided that we are doing a draft. I will give you the
All right.
honor of the first pick.
Stuffing.
That's a good answer. It's a good answer indeed. I'm not gonna lie. It took
Come
me a
on.
long time as a younger man to like appreciate stuffing for what it is.
Yeah, same.
But that shit
Same.
is so good now.
Yeah,
It's just wet bread with shit in it, but goddamn.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah, dude. All right, I'm gonna hit it off with the answer that I put on our. We have like a little whiteboard at work, and one of the team members she writes like all the like what the weekly question is, just to like keep it
Mhm.
fun. And I'm technically not even a part of this team, but I always write an answer on the board. So for reference, my answer number 1 was pecan pie. I am quite partial to pecan pie, but only on Thanksgiving. Like any other time of the year when it's around, because it's readily available usually. I don't want that, but on Thanksgiving, it's just something special about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now for the next example, just by the way, that little whiteboard we were talking about of the questions, this week's question, this will be a good one. If you could make a float for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, what would you make your float of?
Cock.
All right. All right. That's an answer. That is
I mean,
dick and
hey,
balls,
if
dude.
it, yeah, anything can get through. I can do anything. Might as well traumatize the nation.
So yeah, some more appropriate answers have been like an Attack on Titan float or like other things. Mine was, and this might be over your head, but I know my older listeners. I know you guys know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Mine was a Turbo Man float. That is Arnold
What the fuck?
Schwarzenegger. Hang on, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Jingle All the Way. You've seen that movie?
Okay. No.
It's about a dad who's like a businessman. And he needs to get this certain toy. It's called Turbo
Oh,
Man.
yes, 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 yes,
Yes,
yes, yes,
and he
yes,
goes,
yes, yes,
"It's
yes.
turbo time." I want to
Yes.
recreate that fight scene that happens on the floats, but like as a float itself. That's what
Oh,
I want to
that's
do.
actually that's such a good deep cut
It really
that
is.
like
I just also want I
the
want to just be able to say it's turbo time.
dude, oh, that would get so many people. Like the people who get it, that's a good cut.
Yeah, dude, it is
Ah,
a
now
good.
my
All right,
legitimate answer, I don't know what I would pick.
Pokemon.
Oh, dude.
Just name the ugliest Pokemon you can think of and make it a Macy's float.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
the
bro.
Dun Dun Spice.
Hey, the Dun Dun Dun
Mm,
Sparse float. Let's go.
How do you feel? We're totally off the fucking
No.
Thanksgiving
Well,
thing, by the
we're gonna
way.
go back to our draft. We're gonna get our draft done first, and then we are going to address the elephant in the room that is Scarlet and Violet. Okay. So,
Okay,
what is your
okay.
number 2 draft for the Thanksgiving draft?
This is so hard. I was debating between two picks. Does your family do ham at Thanksgiving?
Certain functions of my different families do. Some don't.
We do. We do. And I like ham.
You're drafting the ham.
I'm drafting the ham over the turkey.
I mean, I will say that ham is quite tasty. I'm not going to disagree with that. To me, it
Yeah.
more aligns with Christmas and Easter, but that's because of my white lineage that's screaming
That's
inside
fair.
of me to speak out and telling me that I'm being oppressed in 2022 for some reason, which I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's a good answer. I accept it. I'll allow it. My
I
number
mean,
2.
I just feel like ham, veteran player, always been an RB2, and like could move up. Longevity's there.
Get your fucking sports terms out of my Thanksgiving draft, you piece of shit. All right, all
like
right, all right.
like he's not as fast and thin as Turkey, but
Okay.
he's got the ball.
All right, we're gonna put a skirt to the record real quick here. We're gonna put my number 2 on the board, the green bean casserole. That motherfucker is a mainstay. I am so excited to eat. Like, dude, my first plate's gonna be a little bit of everything, right? And then the second plate,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a third of it's going to be green bean casserole with a few other choice
Yeah.
selects, right? But green bean casserole, here's the thing about it, right? No matter whose function you show up to, whether it's your family's, someone distant in your family's, your own parents' house, so your significant other's families, right?
Yeah.
Green bean casserole is ultra consistent. It is
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
it's so hard to fuck up. So you know
Yeah.
what? It's just got a special place in my heart.
You know what the best part about green bean casserole is? Is like my family doesn't necessarily like tell each other. I don't know how they communicate who's bringing what, but every year someone just brings like one pan of green bean casserole that's like enough for everybody,
Yes, sir.
and like without communicating it with other people. Like I don't know how that works.
So I think these things all kind of just work this way because of the staple nature of Thanksgiving, right? Like you have to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
certain things that just meet all the bars and all the marks.
I guess yeah, yeah.
So what's your number 3?
So I gotta take this because this is me personally now. Rolls. Dinner
The
rolls,
bread,
you know.
okay, the bread,
The bread. Yeah.
bread. Now, are you guys like a King Hawaiian roll, or are you guys like the yeast rolls?
King Hawaiian.
Okay, King Hawaiians are gang. I'm gonna get you there. Now I'm gonna take a little trip down to anecdote land real quick here. I'm gonna
Yes.
honor my lovely great grandmother who passed back in 2011. I know it's the weird thing 11 years later to bring up, but let's just touch on it. So my grandma Davenport was her last name. She had these recipes called they were potato buns, right? But they were called grandma port buns. And dude, like everyone in my family tries to recreate them still to this day. No
Can't do
one.
it.
Dude, grandma was just magic. Like there's something magic about
Yeah.
grandma to this day. She also wove Afghan rugs. And like to this day, I am so hypercritical of looking at other Afghan rugs when I see them out at like shops and stuff or like flea
Yeah.
markets. And I look at them, I'm like, your stitching's not tight enough. This is not like as good as my grandma's was. There's just no shot.
Yeah.
Like this woman
Yeah.
she could weave a rug, bro, and it was impressive.
Yeah.
And I
That's
look at
fucking
the other
dope.
ones now, and I'm like, they suck. They're just not as good. And I think
Yeah.
about that shit all the time. How the buns were the best. Shout out, grandma, love you.
Yeah.
But real talk, like I get it. It's not a controversial thing to put bread even in your number 1. Like if my grandma port
Dude.
buns were still as good as they used to be, done. Number one,
You want to know? You want to know why I put bread so high and why I love it, especially on Thanksgiving?
carbs.
No, 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 no. So I'm one of the ways I eat my Thanksgiving dinner. I do this always at some point in the night.
Sure.
You make the sandwich, the everything fucking sandwich thing. You know what I mean?
Have you seen Friends? Have you seen all of Friends?
No, I've watched maybe like 3 episodes.
All right, good. Don't. But for those who have watched all of Friends, like I did, because I watched it growing up with my parents, watching it as adults.
Yeah, it makes sense.
There's an episode where Ross talks about the moisture maker, and what you do is you take your Thanksgiving leftovers, you take that middle, you take like 3 pieces of bread, right?
Yeah.
And you take the middle piece, you dunk it in the gravy, so it's slathered in it, and then what it does is it makes the rest of the turkey moist as it heats up in the microwave. It works, dude. I've tried it so many times; it works every time.
Holy fuck, that's
Yeah, dude. That's the one. That's the one positive contribution Friends made on society. It's not the we were on a break or the pivot. It's not none of those references. It's the moisture maker on the Thanksgiving leftover sandwich.
Yeah.
No, I agree. You gotta change it up. You gotta get inventive, with what you're eating. Now I'm not like all like famous bowl style where I'll take like my mashed potatoes, put my turkey on top and my green. I don't do that. That's gross.
I don't do that. That's
I'm not like Thanksgiving is actually breaks a weird rule for me. So I'm probably mildly autistic to some level. And I like the food plates that like naturally separate everything on Thanksgiving. Oh, God sent.
Yeah.
Like they're my favorite thing. So
yeah.
My favorite like little game to play with myself is as I'm loading it up now as an adult. It's like filling those areas, but not getting them to touch, but almost touching.
What used to agonize you as a child, you've turned into a mini game as an adult.
I've learned how to enjoy life, you see.
That's progress, bro.
It is. My weird childhood issues have turned into fun little mini games on a holiday. It's like I'm playing Mario Party to make dinner. Dude. Anyways, so let's go on to my number 3, the one that's gonna violate a lot of space on my plate, if you will. I'm gonna go with the cheesy potato casserole with the fucking cornflakes on top. That shit is good, bruv. Now I will say, caveat: I am not an onion guy, and I kind of vehemently hate all raw onion. I'm not super duper hot on cooked onion really either. Like if it's not cooked very well. And what I mean by that is
open my door for Doge, but I'm still here.
No, let Molly do the thing, man. We love that dog. But my thing is that if some what happened? Is she okay? What happened?
Yeah, this fucking idiot like put her head as I was opening the door and it like booped her.
Bunk. Yeah, no, Crowley does that from time to time.
Yeah, and like I don't know. Maybe I overreact when I heard like you
booped your dog in the head. You love your dog, and you're like, oh my god, are you okay? I love you so much. Don't hate me. And they forget in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know. She just walked away like nothing happened.
Yeah, she's like, all right, I'm fine. She's like, actually, I need this nap more now.
Yeah, I know. She's off doing whatever.
Yeah, you ever wondered about that? If you boop your dog's head by accident when you open the door, and you're like, did I just mildly concuss my dog? Because then they go lay down, and you're like, wait. How do I know? Because I know the signs for a human concussion, but how do I know the signs for dog concussion? What the fuck is the difference? Dude. Anyways, man. Weird tangent. All right, so my number 3 was obviously those cheesy potatoes, right? But the onion thing. If people cut their onions up as like big as the potato chunk, and they don't like saute them first, cook them down, get them nice and like cooked, and they're hardly cooked onion, dude. If I take one bite of the cheesy potato casserole and the onion chunk comes through, the flavor of an onion, I'm done. My whole meal is ruined. So it's like, dude, it's straight up. It's such an important thing to me for some reason. Yeah. But if I go somewhere and I'm like, oh, the cheesy potato casserole, fuck yeah. I take like my first bite. It's all safe. I'm like, yes, fuck yeah, great day. And I take the second bite. I'm like, Thanksgiving ruined. Day over. I want to go home.
You gotta take all corner or edge piece. You know what I mean?
Yes. You're correct. You're exactly correct. All right, what's your number 4, my man?
Pie.
Which kind? You can't say all pie.
I know.
Fucking asshole. We can take cherry. You can't take cherry, apple, and pumpkin in one go.
Okay.
Besides, I've already claimed pecan. You can't have any of my pecan now.
That's fair. Flag on my play.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Fuck, I'll take pumpkin. It's classic.
That's a banger. And I will round us out with turkey. Notable things that did not make it. Mashed potatoes did not make the list. I'm just gonna say, neither of us said gravy. Neither of us said mashed potatoes.
Oh, mac and cheese.
You see, that's the thing. I want to identify with mac and cheese being part of it, right? Baked mac and cheese, whatever thing you want to call it, homemade, big sheet pan, whatever.
Damn,
My family didn't have that shit there.
that's fair.
We didn't put yams, candied, or just like sweet potatoes, whatever you want to say about them. They were on the list. Maybe
Yeah.
4 was too few. Maybe we did fuck up, but we'll let the comment
That's what
section
I'm
decide
saying.
that, guys. So just let us
Yeah,
know if we
yeah.
fucked up
But
or not.
there are some misses here.
Dude, there's some major misses. I'll say there's not a
Yeah.
lot of green veggie other than that green bean casserole. You know what I'm saying?
The green bean.
Dude, I'm ready to eat. I actually have a work function
yeah.
tomorrow. Like, so instead of
Ooh.
working a full day, we are done basically at 11:15, and then we go over to
Yeah.
our corporate location and we're gonna have lunch like with the whole like thing. It's exciting. We haven't done that since pre-COVID, so
Nice.
we've done it every year before that. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited to eat some food tomorrow. I'm excited to eat some food Thursday. I hope everyone who's watching this now on Friday, on Black Friday, when this episode airs, that you're enjoying your leftovers if you have them. What's your favorite leftover Thanksgiving item?
Oh, dude,
My favorite leftover Thanksgiving item is the pride flag hats that the Welsh team had confiscated at the
What?
World Cup. Oh, you didn't hear about this? This is
no,
like
I did
today
not.
news. Okay, so yesterday, the Welsh and the USA teams played in the World Cup, right? 1-1 game at the end.
Yep.
We're gonna get into our main topic about the World Cup here in a second. Once we transition this, but basically the hot new news today is that the Welsh teams were wearing armbands, right? They had like little pride things on them. They had like almost like little rainbow. They had rainbow colors on their shoulders, but they were wearing bucket hats too, right? As part of their team kit. And then after the match yesterday, they were confiscated after FIFA had made promises that they would be allowed to have full representation, and it would be everyone would be welcome, and every representation would be welcome at the World Cup. And Qatar is not playing very nice by that right now.
I'm just gonna speak my piece about FIFA real quick as an organization because
worst organization in the world. They're horribly corrupt. There's a great documentary on it. Actually, you should all watch it. It's on Netflix.
Like like countries should agree to just not abide by FIFA any longer. But like, it's like because every like country that isn't like the United States or like, you know what I mean, like one of the more well-off countries, this fucks their economy and infrastructure for years.
Yeah,
you build all these stadiums, and then they never get them.
Yeah,
and a lot of them are unfinished.
Yeah, and then the other problem they have going on too, I'm sure you heard about this. The day before, they pulled the government of Qatar pulled the official license for Budweiser to like other beer companies to sell inside of the stadium. So in the fan zones outside of the stadium, there is alcohol available to be sold, but inside the stadium there is 0 places to get alcohol.
That's like, I feel like a lot of venues are weirdly like trying to do that now. Like,
no,
I don't know.
I disagree with that. I think the government of Qatar is a very special case here that is very
different.
than
that's
everything
true.
else.
That's true.
This is a very different
flashbacks. It just gave me flashbacks to like recent like CS:GO things. Like every CS:GO tournament, that's been happening. Like somebody like
I mean, do you fucks get too drunk at the CS:GO function though?
Yeah, one guy who weighs 90 pounds soaking wet, and then one guy. There's maybe like 5 yoked people at these tournaments, like not counting players.
I'm just saying, if people are getting too fucked up and there's a precedent of issue at live events like this, right?
Yeah.
Then there's got to be something addressed about it eventually.
Yeah, no, people. I wouldn't say like I really saw any issues like that ever, but
I haven't heard anything. I'm just saying I can see the CS community being a little more.
Hey, people were getting spit on in Brazil.
Y'all like the fucking y'all like the party in the CS community is all I'm saying. Like dudes like out there going to clubs, getting fucked up, doing coke and shit. The boomage thing, like, you know,
config getting into a bar fight, breaking
like, can you imagine a league player like doing a bump of coke ever?
No.
Exactly.
No.
But I can imagine, but I've seen CS pros like video of a leaked thing of them doing coke allegedly.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the difference. It's just the community entirely. It's a different cut of animal, like a different cut of the cloth, you know?
CS:GO fucks.
CS:GO is pretty rad.
Yeah, CS:GO fucks.
Yeah,
dude.
if you want to be a cool guy, go hang out with the CS:GO people for sure.
Yeah, they're some fucking badasses.
Let's see. Oh yeah, so Budweiser had their license pulled to sell that shit, right?
Yeah.
So all the beer, they have like a whole like 4 warehouses or some shit I heard, full of alcohol to sell that they cannot sell. So now what they're going to do is, after the winning team is decided at the end of the World Cup, they are going to have like a massive sponsored party in the that's sponsored by Budweiser in said country that wins, and they're going to use all the alcohol they have produced
Oh,
to fund said
that's so
party.
good.
Yeah, yeah,
That's so
yeah,
good.
yeah. So good on Budweiser. For
Dude, that kind of shit is like what gets you like loyal fucking like
that's why even though it's a trash ass beer from Missouri, everyone's drinking it fucking globally, baby.
nah, it's because of that cute commercial with the Clydesdales and puppies.
That shit's banging. What are you talking about? Marketing's
Yeah, that's what
amazing.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's literally that. It's that.
Yes,
That
dude.
commercial is that guy for Budweiser.
He's that guy for Budweiser. That's a great
Yeah.
sentiment. So did you watch any of the World Cup games? You seen any of
I
these?
watched. You want to hear the most degenerate thing ever? I've been watching these like because I like where I work, like
Yeah.
how my home setup is for when I work. It's like I don't pull it up on my monitors just because like I feel like I don't know. I watch it on my phone off
Yeah.
a TikTok live stream.
Okay, first off, that's crazy, but I'm not surprised because I know how unregulated TikTok actually is. And like,
Dude,
unless you're like
it
killing someone on TikTok or you're showing like straight up porn,
yeah,
you are not getting censored.
yeah.
So someone's able to live stream home matches and have no problem,
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Oh,
So
literally every football game is on TikTok if you really down bad.
that's what I'm saying. That's crazy, but I believe it. Like I
Yeah.
just said. So we do have a little cable package up in my day job. So the 1 o'clock matches get turned on every day. So we were
Yeah.
watching Wales and USA yesterday. We watched France today. Mbappe, man, that dude, 2 goals in the first half, like crazy. Like France looks
Yeah.
real fucking good this
I
year.
I tuned into that game because like when I say I was watching, I mean I'm like scrolling on my phone, I see it, and then I'm watching for like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then like I go back to work or whatever.
Oh no, bro! My desk is right underneath the TV. I'm kicking back when I have any time between my stuff, and I'm watching the whole match.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, I
Okay,
love
that's
soccer.
fair.
Soccer is like, God, this is gonna be a weird week to not have Durs here,
Mhm.
especially because he is kind of like more of our sports guy. Like, I know you
Yeah,
like sports too, but he's like really our sports nerd when it comes into like baseball
yeah.
and shit. But like,
Oh, shit. He's like the only one who likes baseball between us.
yeah, you and the 3 other people in America, fucking idiot.
Yeah.
No. Basically, soccer is like the game I grew up on. So
Hmm.
and my
Yeah,
brother
same. I
played and
played
all this
soccer
other stuff.
growing
So
up.
like, for me, like the World Cup is like the sporting shit. In fact, there's
Yeah.
we're gonna give a little credibility to one of our listeners here. He knows who he is. He's saying like, you should talk about the World Cup. This is like the sports thing you can talk. Even you're watching whole matches and how engaging it is. I'm like, dude, I watch the World Cup every 4 years. What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
you did. Like you just didn't get to watch it with me the last time there was one. You just didn't know this is what I did. Like this is the one sport I fuck with like on a regular basis, or
Yeah.
semi-regular, I guess you could say. So we watched that match today, and then did you see the results of the Argentina Saudi Arabia match?
No, I did not.
Saudi Arabia beat Argentina, who are favored to win this year more than likely. Yeah,
They're
Messi.
always like
Yeah,
they're always
Messi.
like in the top
Messi
like
was
for conversation for that.
well, Messi exists, so
Yeah.
But
You're
no,
a perennial
Messi was
favorite.
apparently out after the first 10 minutes or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that explains a
So
lot.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what really happened there, but I saw that Saudi Arabia won. And there's this I'm going to show you it later on Reddit, but it's a guy celebrating. It's like a bunch of Saudi guys in like one of the Saudi guys' homes. And this dude is so excited. He takes his front door off of his house and destroys it in the street. He just like throws it. And I was just like, dude, this guy, and all of his friends are just "Ah!" in the background. It's the greatest video I've ever seen. And the best thing is, I didn't even know.
Oh my
Like it was a
Dude,
3 a.m.
sports
match last night.
rock.
It's 3 a.m. our local time, right, for that match.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it, but I get on Twitter this morning and I see a Hasbullah meme, and it's got
That's so
fucking.
fucking
It's like
funny.
all Saudi Arabia is like it's hard being on top when you're this big, and it's just the little
Yeah.
Hasbullah.
That's
Dude.
so fucking funny.
So I didn't know they had won, and then I saw the results, and I was like, let me watch the replay, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, this game's crazy. So I've watched
Dude,
3 soccer games in the last day.
Low key, I feel like the gap in talent across countries is very much becoming smaller.
I thought there's just like an upper echelon, and then it's just like mediocrity everywhere else.
I don't know. I feel like the top to make it to this point in the World Cup, you're nice. Somebody on your team is nice, you know.
I mean, I don't want to be a hater, and I did say this comment, but like Qatar obviously got a spot because they're the host country, but they also
Yeah.
did win the Asia Cup, so they're not
Yeah.
technically bad amongst their peers. Like I don't think Korea or China are in this tournament, but Japan is.
Korea is.
Korea is?
Korea and Japan are.
I know Japan is, but I didn't know Korea was
Yeah.
or wasn't. Someone looked it up
Yeah.
yesterday and were telling me they weren't, and I was like,
Wait, are they not? I
I
thought I
don't.
looked it up yesterday and thought they were. But
I
maybe
didn't.
I'm
I
just
haven't
fucking
looked up
dumb.
anything. I've just been appreciating the matches as they come, and I'm just trying to enjoy it for what it is, man.
Yeah,
You know.
Korea's in this bitch.
Well, probably if they end this bitch, they end this bitch. You know what it is.
They in this
We in this
bitch.
bitch.
That's
Korea
exactly
in
how.
this bitch.
That's literally what their team said when they qualified.
Yeah. Yeah. Faker who? No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, so the World Cup's tight. It's been fun. Let me talk
yeah.
about another one because there was another sport moment that like fucked my brain this week,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like a real impressive
You're talking about that game winner.
it was it was the Atlanta Falcons game over the weekend. I can't remember who they
Are you talking
played.
about basketball?
Yes, sir.
You mean the Hawks, baby?
It was the Hawks. Yeah, it was the Hawks versus who did they play on Saturday night?
They played the Raptors.
Yes, it was the Raptors game. It was the Hawks Raptors. Or so, yeah. Dude, did you see the fucking ending of that game? Like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter into the overtime. It is like everything that basketball is about to me, dude. It is.
Oh yeah.
They were down by like 3. They were shooting free throws. They come back by 1. The league keeps switching. It goes to a fucking last second shot for the clock. He makes it.
The alley oop. Oh,
well, that's where that was the overtime. That was the overtime finish with the alley oop, right? But the actual fourth quarter was so tense, and they kept losing favor. Raptors were going to win, and then they score just enough points to tie, forcing overtime, and then it's like this super back and forth overtime period that results in an ending finish alley oop to win the game.
That's fucking nuts.
It was everything basketball's about to me, dude. Like I am much more like March Madness is where my basketball love comes in, right? I think it's a much more competitive time. I think the NBA is significantly less competitive than college basketball by like a regular margin, except for during playoffs, right? But then in moments like this, like that was like, because you don't see these like 108 score games, right? You don't see that in the fourth quarter of a fucking college game. There's just not enough finesse and skill. The rule set's different, right? So the difference is just not that. Right? Like, so I'm saying is like, for me to look at the highest level of basketball, right, which is the NBA, it just is mathematically, statistically, the dudes who are playing at the time in which they're playing, like these are the best athletes, possibly. But the point is, in that moment, right, in those last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, and then in that overtime period, that is the intensity at which the NBA was played at all times. It would be the most entertaining sport by far.
Oh yeah, but like it's such a long season.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So do you get those lightning in a bottle moments? They're great to watch as they are.
Yeah.
But if I had to go back and watch that whole VOD for the whole game, I'd be like, sorry.
How would you feel if like the NBA shortened the season to like 62 games or something?
I don't know, bro. I don't think fixing a season like this in sports is going to be the answer to making your game more entertaining.
Well, no, hear me out. Less injuries, better recovery time.
No, I get
games that. Will more like there's like teams will be like in that gotta win now mindset sooner. Too.
All right, here's also an idea. Why don't we give everyone a gun in Minecraft?
Yeah.
So that anytime someone pisses you off, you can hit him with the blicky in Minecraft. And then that way you get the ball back, you get possession, right? Because you're also carrying. You see what I'm saying? You're carrying. Give me possession. See what I'm saying? But then after that, you have to surrender your gun in Minecraft. Yeah.
No, hear that, Adam Silver?
No,
in the NBA season.
And in all honesty, I don't think shortening a serious like length of season like that, like I don't think it's meaningful enough to change the issue of the overarching like this is mostly boring compared to like I mean honestly, let's say March Madness. March Madness is intense because it's a bracket the whole fucking time. Everything has a stake on it constantly.
Well, okay, you can't just you cannot just say March Madness because that's the playoffs for the college season.
It's exciting.
Are you saying NBA playoffs aren't exciting?
They're more exciting.
Well, then therefore NBA is more exciting than March Madness.
Well, actually, I'm not gonna agree with that notion because I'm gonna think back on all the March Madness seasons that
Molly,
I've
what
watched,
do you think?
And I'm gonna Molly.
She fucking disagrees with you. She just told me.
I mean, obviously, I would disagree with me too. I'm a piece of shit in Minecraft. But I honestly think you're making a good point. But I think that there have been way more entertaining March Madness like runs than there have ever been more entertaining.
Yeah. Like
NBA
at first I was
playoffs.
with you because I thought you were calling college basketball as a whole more unentertaining than the NBA, but then I realized,
No.
oh, it's just like a March Madness is just college ball, like ball playoffs.
Yeah. And that's what all that matters in college ball. I'm not gonna lie. I don't give a shit about anyone's regular season in college ball.
Well, you win your conference. That's always nice.
I think okay, yeah, absolutely. And I think when you are an alum and there's that attachment, or if you're local to the area that thing is, so if you're from
I was about to
Kansas,
say there's a lot of teams with sidewalk fans, man.
I mean, I'll say the only team I can say I'm maybe a little bit of a fan of, and I'm happy to see that they're succeeding in the normal season would be like the Jayhawks. That's because my stepdad is an alum, and like that's
Yeah,
we
Slew's kind of nice.
was that
Slew's kind of nice.
Slew?
Yeah, they
I
kind of
mean,
nice sometimes.
they're fine. They do some things occasionally. It's cool to see
They
them
make
do
the, they
that,
make the
but
tournament every now and then.
yeah, but like, I'm gonna say the Jayhawks love that I have has distorted my reality of appreciating anything local to St. Louis. Anyone who's like, I can't. I just am like, yeah, but the Jayhawks are an actual good team.
Yeah, dude, I don't. It's like like when you're a fan of teams like that, dynasty teams, you get spoiled.
True.
It makes your view so jaded. I feel
You
like.
know what was a really cool time for me though? I'm thinking about this now. It was when Carmelo Anthony was playing in college still. It was his last year and his last play March Madness he did before he made the NBA. I think about those years like all the time. Those March Madnesses were some of my favorites to watch in hindsight.
That's fair.
It made me excited about the NBA again after Jordan retired. That's something you have to understand too. I did grow up in like I was 6 when Jordan retired, so I watched like his last 3 years of games. Like I watched it happen.
Yeah.
That shit was like the most exciting basketball possible, in my opinion. Like from back when I remember it though, and like I mean, like I saw Space Jam in theaters. That shit was busting. But then when he was coming back, you were like, ah! And then he came back, bro, and he's Jordan. He's the greatest to ever do it, dude. You know? Truthfully.
Allegedly.
No. I mean, okay, so while that can be argued, and some people want to say like you can't compare eras, like Kobe and Jordan and LeBron.
Jordan was playing plumbers, man.
The only credence I'll offer is that big hoopers now, or people who are like analysts, will like they'll ask the questions of like, do you think Jordan could score this much in the current NBA with the current rule set? People be like, he'd be putting up 50. Like they say he put up more if he had the current rule set because there's less contact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he could shoot more threes. So imagine if he put time into like refining his threes.
Yeah.
He could have been nuts.
He'd be too busy at the casino with all his bitches.
No, he was not a casino gambler. He was a competitive gambler. He liked to gamble like in golf matches with friends. He didn't like to go to the boat.
Nah, I feel like he was like a casino gambler too.
Bro, did you watch The Last Dance even?
No, it did not.
And I took that personally. What the fuck?
I don't know. My favorite Bulls player, like, to ever wear the jersey is Jimmy Butler.
Dennis Rodman exists. Get fucked. That's my favorite Bulls player of all time. That was my dude.
Sure.
That is what, like, that was the guy who inspired me to fucking be rude on the basketball court and stuff kids and foul out every game for 4 years.
Yeah.
I would look at the clock with 2 minutes on the clock from grade 5 to grade 8. And if I didn't want to play anymore and I knew we were losing too hard, I would get my 5th foul intentionally and I'd fucking shove a kid.
Sheesh.
If I'm going out big. Rodman taught me how to play, bro. He was a rude dude, man, and I respected him for it, honestly.
Hey.
Also, I get to drink my Gatorade 2 minutes sooner, so you know what? Shut up.
There you go, bro.
Yeah, little bro.
Basketball's tight.
Now, basketball is tight. Sports are tight. You know, surprisingly enough, sports are entertaining. Now, I want to take a quick detour. Just because this is kind of actually why we're recording digitally.
Hey. Since we are like about to maybe move off sports, do you want to hear about the most despicable lick I've ever hit in my fucking life?
Let's hear it, bro.
So, this is fantasy related.
Okay.
I basically proposed a trade to somebody for like, I don't even remember. I was giving up like a guy who I figured would bust soon, or like have all of his like upside taken away, eaten away by like somebody else, right?
Okay, yeah.
And he had a bye this week. And it just so happened the guy I was trading to, I'm playing this week.
Okay.
And then I traded him somebody else who's like on a shit team, but like had a good week last week.
Okay.
And trade goes through. He trades me a wide receiver and another running back that's like whatever, right?
Sure.
It's an upgrade on paper for him, but like if you're like looking at what's happening in these locker rooms, you're like, probably not. The
Let
players,
me
when
ask
I
a
traded
question.
him,
How do you know
yeah,
what's going on in the locker rooms? Well, how are you there?
er,
Are you watching?
there's
What's the ins?
reporters.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say, first off, are those reporters in the
Yeah,
locker rooms? I just want to know.
yeah. No, but like if a report comes out that someone
No,
says
I get it.
head coach and like offensive coordinator saying like this guy's going to be getting more like double the snaps, and he
Yeah.
gets like, yeah, you know what I mean?
No, no, I get it. I get it. It's where you get your information
Uh,
from. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So like, and the players I traded him essentially dropped 2 points together, and the players he traded me dropped 50. We played this week,
So you're telling
and
me if he would have traded you, he would have won?
he would have dropped his nuts on my head.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was specifically
Hmm.
from him playing like one of those guys,
That's funny.
and the other being on bye.
Well, what can you do? That's
Yeah, pay attention to the little details. Dude, it's
I
such a
mean, you
fuck.
you read the reports, bro. You read the
Bro,
reports.
I was chirping in the group chat. He has not replied yet.
You're savage.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was taking a little
I was
trip to
very proud of
Dabbington City,
myself for
bro.
that move, dude.
Damn. That's a good dab. That's a good dab indeed.
Yeah,
Um, that's what's up. First off,
yeah,
congratulations on your weekly win and your successful trades that have benefited you directly in the realm of chirping at the boys, as one does.
yeah. Thank you for the review.
Yup. But for real, um,
Let's get to it.
I guess I'll go here with this. I'm thinking about saving this for the end, but I'll just get it right here in the middle. We'll sandwich it in. Do a lot of happiness, fun times, and I'll throw a little despair in there, and we'll bring it back.
Let's do
So earlier this week, a lot of people, a lot of young men, middle-aged men, older, not so much, but my age, younger, a little older, right? We went through kind of a crazy loss, right? So there's been a couple celebrities who have passed away from the 90s that have been a big deal, like Kevin Conroy, the Batman thing. The guy
Yeah.
who did the original voice of the Batman passed away a couple weeks ago. I meant to mention that in one of the episodes we didn't. So, rest in power to him. But the reason why I actually ended up not recording on our typical Sunday and in person is because I asked to delay it because this past Sunday, on the 19th of November, Jason David Frank, the original green and white Power Ranger, passed away. I don't mean to make light of this. I'm just going to put the detail out there that it's been reported that it was suicide. It's, to be quite frank, absolutely heartbreaking for me. It's been really hard for the last couple of days, if I'm being totally transparent. And, I'm handling as best as I can personally. I never got to meet him as much as I wanted to. For those who don't understand, from an outsider perspective, when people who have an attachment to Power Rangers think of like a Power Ranger in their head, they think of him. Like, he is the face. He is the
He's
most
that guy.
recognizable. He is that guy. He is unironically that guy. He's multiple leaders over multiple teams. He came back after years to mentor a team and then become a Ranger with them. Like 10 years after his time as a Ranger initially. And that's just a character, but then he was also an amazing martial artist, an amazing role model, if I'm being honest. He was one of the
Just a great guy.
like if you watched his videos of when he talked about doing fan meets and all these things, he's so giving and so loving, and he understands, like, in reality, and grounded that or understood rather that it was about the fans, and it was about the people who allowed him to have such a life that he has, right? And he was that way till the very end. There was a Facebook Live that he did the day that he passed, and even then he was talking about the fan meets and like how grateful he is and how he's so excited to meet people. He's talked about over his career how he's left probably $300,000 to $400,000 in signed merchandise and things to give away to fans for when he only was there for 2 hours, but there's all this stuff, so give it to more people who want it.
Yeah.
Like give these things to them because he wants them to feel that love and appreciation too. So it's harrowing. It's definitely not been an easy time. To anyone else out there who admired him like I did, I mean, he was my hero. Like, straight up.
Yeah.
That was one of my heroes growing up and still was. And, I talk about mental health a lot in my personal time. I don't think we've really talked about it too much on the pod. We definitely,
No.
advocate for it and all that, but like
Yeah.
being totally transparent, one of the first thoughts I had is that, oh God, if he can't make it, then like, how can any of us? Like I have really hard issues with depression myself. And, if they're one of the strongest people I viewed in my eyes, someone who I looked to for strength when I felt weak. If he can't make it, how can any of us do it, right? So depression is a real thing. Your loved ones can love you as much as you can. You can have all the admiration in the world and still feel the crushing weight that comes with that. So if you yourself, listener, are feeling these things, reach out to someone. Don't ever be afraid to talk. There are so many resources. There are the hotlines. There's your family members. There's your friends. I invite anyone who knows me personally, if you ever have that moment where you're feeling low like that, like, just call me, man. Just fucking call me. That's how I've been feeling about it. So I've been telling all my friends that, and everyone I love around me, just, if you ever need anything like that, just always call me. Never give in that despair and just, let that happen to you. Because there's so many people who are around you who love you and who will help you. For sure.
Well said.
And that being said too, also, I want to acknowledge my sadness as I feel it. And it's been okay for me to cry cathartically and watch the episodes that had him in it that were like the best moments for me from when he was in it, or observing those things, because I think that's the best way to honor someone like that, is to remember them and feel the pain also of that memory in a way to know that, like, it's okay to feel that hurt. And have that issue. It's not a problem. It's just life. It's part of it.
Yeah.
Well
said.
Thank you. It's
I'm not.
It took me a lot to get there, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't have done this on Sunday. I couldn't go 20 minutes without sobbing for a while.
Hey man, I get it.
It's hard.
Everybody has like certain people they look up to or celebrities, especially if they help you get through hard times.
So a little crazy thing here. Obviously I didn't think it was gonna hit me that kind of hard. Maybe that difficult of a thing for me. But like the original Yellow Ranger, her name was Thoy Trong. She passed back in the early 2000s in a car accident, right? So the community of fans, like lifelong fans, bigger fans, we've dealt with loss before. We've lost a few people along the way. I don't think anyone was prepared for this. No one ever really thought it would be this way, obviously. But I personally didn't think like this kind of event would hit me the way it did. It's been a very, very interesting week of emotional exploration for something that I didn't like. I know I'm attached to it. I love Power Rangers. I will probably until the day I die. And there's no problem with that. If you actually look right above my head, there's like two pop figures. There's like there's two Gokus, and then right in the middle there is a Green Ranger pop right there, man. Like he's always right there. And, you don't really think about how an actor, right? Someone who's just part of media that's important to you when you grew up or something is going to impact you that way, but it does.
Someone like you never really personally spoken to.
Yep. But the way I compared it is like, it felt like, cause I've lost some other, major prominent figures in my life before. I've lost my great grandmother, like I talked about. So I've experienced loss, and this felt like losing a family member, man. It really did. It felt like losing like my big brother almost. Someone I really looked up to and admired. So, just a true rest in power to him. As dorky as it sounds, may the power always protect him. I love him, and I want to honor him. So, thank you, Jason David Frank, for what you did for my life. It means a lot. Now, let's talk about some more goofy shit, some more fun shit. You wanna
listen to this emo band ranking I found?
Okay, online? Yes, that was what I was gonna ask you to pull up, because I really want to do something that's also very cathartic in a way. So for those who don't know, while Parm pulls this up, I am an emo kid also.
I have the list right here.
Let's go. I love that. So basically, I'm like, Parm, I think you can speak to this. I'm not like an elitist, but I am like a category.
You're fucking snobby one.
Shut up. Maybe I am a little. I'm not. I just like, I know all the subgenres and the categories. So when someone brings up a band and they're like, oh yeah, this metal band, this, and I'm just like, that's technical deathcore, sir. Like that is not this. That is this.
Does it fall under the umbrella?
But the umbrella isn't. I don't have to explain this whole thing, but the umbrella doesn't. I think of it like a library bookshelf, right? I think of it like a Dewey Decimal System. I don't think of it like a whole umbrella.
I think for the audience, what I suggested is this list is less about the accuracy of these bands being better than each other.
I hope you are all ready to hear me say this is not an emo band, but and then I'll finish my sentence probably.
I guess I'll start from bottom to top.
Go for it.
So we'll start with worst party ever.
That's a band?
That's a band.
I don't even know who that is. Hang on.
Okay.
Omega who? What? I don't know who the fuck that is.
Dude, this is like one of the most popular ones I saw. Like I saw
Worst
one thing and then like it just
party
went down the rabbit hole.
musical band.
Worst party ever.
This is like a current band.
I guess so.
No, it is. It's a No Sleep Records band with an album put out last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't even know who these guys are.
All right.
Omega who?
Okay. Number 9. I don't know if you know this one either, but like Frat Mouse.
Frat Mouse.
Yes.
No, I don't even know that band.
We're just gonna put a bun in that one. Lincoln.
Lincoln?
Yeah, Lincoln.
I think I've heard of Lincoln. Hang on.
Well, you look them up. I'll just keep going. Number
Lincoln
6.
band. Go ahead.
Slaughter Beach Dog.
Slaughter Beach Dog fucking rules, bro. All right, let me tell you about Slaughter Beach Dog real quick. Slaughter Beach Dog is the birth child of Jake Ewing, and Jake Ewing was the guitar player and singer of one Modern Motherfucking Baseball. Modern Baseball is the real name, not Modern, right? So Modern Baseball, MOBO for short. Possibly one of the most quintessential 2010s emo bands that has ever existed. You're gonna miss it all. Best album they ever wrote. Don't care what anyone else says. But Slaughter Beach Dog, Slaughter Beach Dog is quite good. The one thing I will say I really love, sorry, it's Jake Ewald, not Ewing. So Jake Ewald does this thing where like each album gets a little more like not funky, but like he's pushing it a little bit more with what he does. He does like a lot of different stuff too. He'll play drums on things. He'll do like all of the like I think on the first album or two he did all of the recording himself, and he does all the mastering and mixing himself too. Yeah, Slaughter Beach Dog's tight. I love Slaughter Beach Dog. And if you also like Modern Baseball, you already know who that is, or you end up listening to them and checking them out, go check out Slaughter Beach Dog after. All I'm going to say is if you need more of it, you're going to want the Brendan parts. Brendan's the heartbeat of Modern Baseball, but the soul of Modern Baseball is Jake Ewald. And if you don't, you're not going to get more Brendan. I'm sorry. You're just not going to. I don't have time to explain the history of that band to like explain why you're not going to get more Modern Baseball and you're not going to get more of Brendan's parts and singing, but you will get more Jake's. So just go there, enjoy it. It's good.
Number 5, Burger King foot. The Front Bottoms.
Front Bottoms are great. I love the Front Bottoms. I'm gonna need to hear the rest of the list though to see if I agree with the positioning. Because I would
Number 4.
I mean, I agree. I agree that Slaughter Beach Dog is nowhere near as good as the Front Bottoms. But then if you ask me Modern Baseball, I put them way over the Front Bottoms. Like that's one or two, maybe not all 1 or 2. We'll see. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Marietta at number 4.
Whatever. Overrated.
Number 3, American football.
This is an all-time list, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I would never put Marietta in the top 5 all time. Just gonna put that out there just right now. I respect Marietta, but not my thing. Go on, American football number 3. Wait, what's number 2 and number 1? What?
Number 2 is Mom Jeans.
What's number 1?
Modern Baseball.
Okay, so no. I'm just gonna say no. This list is wrong. Like, Mom Jeans doesn't deserve to be in the top 5. They're great, but they're like a number 4, like 6.
They had 5. A Bob's Burger intro, bro.
Bro, do you know how they started their band? Do you know? Tell me.
No, I have no idea.
So this is why they could never be number 1 over Modern Baseball for the record. Or ever, even if you definitively rank these bands, Mom Jeans can never be higher than Modern Baseball. And here is why. Modern Baseball wrote this amazing first LP. There's a song called like It's Cold Outside or something on there.
Yeah.
Mom Jeans then just did a parody little joke when they started a band, and they played all of their songs. They re-released their same song of Modern Baseball. They straight up stole Sparkle Pop from them, bro.
That's tough.
Now, here's why I'm going to say this list is ridiculous. I'm going to name a couple bands that you didn't hear on there. Sunny Day Real Estate, not on there. Rites of Spring. Like these are old emo bands.
I don't know if it matters, but this list was specifically Midwest emo.
That does matter. That's a huge difference, actually. What the fuck?
I thought I said that at the beginning. It's also in the fucking chat.
No, it just says emo. I thought it said. I don't know. I didn't read.
No, it says it definitely says Midwest emo.
Yeah, no, I would. Here's my big thing, right? I'm gonna say Modern Baseball is my number 1 personally.
Yeah.
But American football could easily be contended as number 1, in my opinion. Like that they've only put out 3 albums, right? but the first album was like defining to what
Sure.
Midwest emo was. And that was in the mid 2000s. So, or early 2000s, if I remember correctly. So for me, I just don't think, I don't know. I have to look at all my actual like emo music too and like decide what I think. But there's a couple bands that I want to shout out.
Maybe I should have
real
given you
quick.
this list before.
Maybe, but I'm going to say this. I don't think Marietta deserves to be that high up.
I'm just gonna find more music rankings by random children on TikTok, and I'm just gonna every
Please,
time
because
I
these
find
kids
a
don't know
good
what they're
one.
talking about. Let me shout out a couple bands though that I think deserve to be on those same lists. The two big ones I can think of immediately: Tiny Moving Parts. Tiny
Yeah,
Moving
that
Parts
was one
should
that came
be
to my mind
that
too.
should be in the top 5 for sure.
That's number one for me.
Dylan Mathiasen is amazing. Like he is such a good guitar player and such a good songwriter.
They're number one for me, biased because they're the only band I think I've like stage dove from.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like fucking
That's a
awesome.
memory. I mean, I've never stage dove ever because I'm so giant, and I've never crowd surfed ever because I'm so giant. But I have launched a lot of people.
Yeah, I was about to say you are the pillar of the everything, bro. You're the guy. You're the guy. Someone like me or a girl comes up to and is like, "Yo, up," like, yeah.
I want to focus on the or a girl part, right? Do you know how many wonderful looking ladies when I was of the same age as them, or right, they were older than me,
Sure, yeah.
when I was a teenager and then a young man, that would come up to me who would probably never talk to me, right? Ever. I wasn't always. Yeah. I was actually, when I was a teenager, I was like slimmed out actually, and I wasn't overweight, so I looked pretty good. But the point is that these people were not interested in me in a way of talking to me and being attracted to me or anything, right? But there were gorgeous women who were just like, up, and I'm like, absolutely. And I just go, lady, have fun. And always helping them in the most respectful way, dainty hand to help them up, grab them by the foot to launch them, not grabbing leg or ass or something. Because dude, let's talk about that. Dudes who do that in the mosh pit are fucking weird. You grab a girl when they're trying to crowd surf. You grab them if you accidentally grab them to help, like you're trying to catch them. It's a wave of people. You grab them by like a butt cheek. It happens, bro. But if you're intentionally trying to grab a girl, fuck you, bro. That is some crowd. I'm gonna crowd kill you if I see that shit. I'll bring back the mosh pit style I used to. Like I don't mosh anymore, bro. But I will go back to fucking swinging arms. Yeah. I do not care. Do not be disrespectful to women like that at a concert, bro. Straight up. God, sorry, my blood got boiling. All right, another band I'd like to shout out though from the genre that I think that you'll probably like them quite a bit if you haven't heard of them before. Free Throw. Free Throw is so good.
Okay.
Yes, a little bit of Free Throw. Check them out.
They're also, where was the Hotelier on this list? There was another thing.
Where's Oso Oso?
True.
Where's like, I mean,
games.
Where's Charmer? That's one that would be on my list personally. Yeah, Charmer's quite
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Dude, shut up. John Frusciante is a fucking god, dude.
Do you want to wrap this up on thoughts with Pokemon Scarlet Violet?
Oh shit, we were supposed to talk about that. We got to talk about two things realistically. We can save the esports stuff for the next time though, because the off season is kind of cold. Let's just off season started. Not shit has gone on, but Rumor City is tight.
I can give you CS:GO news in 30 seconds.
Go for yours, and I'll go for mine in 30, and then we'll wrap up Pokemon Scarlet.
Kenny S is back. He's gonna probably make a major with whatever team he puts together. Valve then saw this and immediately nerfed the op to 5 bullets. Nobody cares. And they took Dust 2 out of the competitive map pool for pros and added Anubis. That's gonna be dope. I can't wait to see. And G2's gonna get their booty cheeks clapped.
So let's ask this question: will Dust 2 still be best map?
Yes. I mean,
think about it. Now you can have a whole generation of fans, like people who start watching now are getting into it. They will never see, possibly, we might see Dust 2 again not too long from now, but we may not see it for another 6 months or a year. And people might start arguing, is Dust 2 even that good? Look how much more fun CS is to watch without Dust 2.
I can't wait.
Yeah, dude,
I cannot wait.
All right, let's talk about...
there are pros who have not played a single map of Anubis, like one game.
We're going to change that up, baby. Let's go. I love that, actually. That's fun. Now I like Anubis. Crazy as that is. All right, league off season. Bunch of motherfuckers are free agents, like from every region. A couple notable things, like anyone who was on Fly Class last year, gone. Not in the LCS, possibly even. Yeah. Like not a single one of them is playing for another LCS team, which is nuts. Also, the rumored FlyQuest roster is insane. It's supposed to be... Shit, who is it? The top laner is, I believe, Impact. Jungle.
Oh, 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 so
Yeah, hang on.
good.
Let me pull up the
That's actually
spreadsheet here.
gas.
The huge signing that tonight was Viper, formerly of EDG, world champion, right? He
Mhm.
is going back to Korea and he is joining Hanwha Life Esports. They are likely building a super team, like more
You
than
have to.
likely. It looks pretty crazy. Most recent announcement, actually, we got right here. Someday Abadage, Huhi, and FBI have all been released from 100 Thieves. That all but confirms that 100 Thieves are fielding Closer as their jungler. Just want to put that out
Oh,
there. That's the
yeah.
big one. Because there was a rumor that Spica was joining 100 Thieves. Guess where Spica is? FlyQuest. So
Ooh,
let me talk about these teams real quick here, right? Let's just run these down. 100 Thieves is now likely to be Tenacity, Closer, Bjergsen, Doublelift, and Busio.
All right, just hear me out. How cool would it have been to just have a Impact, Speak Up, Bjerg, Double Lift support Blackwest roster? That would have been the tight.
Afro?
Afro, yeah.
That was who Afro was. That was the FlyQuest support.
Yeah, that's like, imagine. You
That's
bring Rush
crazy.
Hour back.
That dude, I don't know if that'd actually be good. Okay, let's see a couple other notable ones. EG has Someday, Inspired, JoJo, FBI, and Vulcan. Team Liquid. This is the most interesting one. Summit returns to the LCS. Yes. Jungler unknown as of right now, but it might be Umti, which is a Korean jungler.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
his name.
And then Harry and Yeon, who are both Korean speakers, but are NA residents, and then Core JJ. So full Korean roster out of TL this year.
That'll be interesting.
CLG with the salty run back.
I like it.
They couldn't get anybody else, basically. Solo, Boogie, Maple, Neo, and Chime for TSM. The spiciest roster of all of them. Actually, these next two are the spiciest. We're not even going to acknowledge Golden Guardians and Immortals. They're worthless. I don't care.
Okay.
But I do want to acknowledge that Gory, if you know who he is, Korean player who went and played on EDG last year. Year before that, he
Okay,
played
yeah.
on Nongshim Red Force and was the
Yeah.
LCK player of the split in summer. Okay, so Gory is coming to Golden Guardians, FlyQuest, Impact, Spica, Vikla. If you know who Vikla is,
No, I don't.
Vikla was the player of the split last year in Korea, the rookie of the split
Oh.
for KT Rolster. So he's like the hot new laner. He's coming over to
Okay.
NA, right? Prince and Ayla. Prince was the hot AD carry last year that almost brought that one Korean team to playoffs, if you recall that.
Okay.
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 So we're stacking Koreans this year.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Dignitas. Armut, Santorin, Jensen, Spawn, and Ignar.
That team's gonna suck balls.
Dude, there's like 7 or 8 teams that are actually competitive. That team's not going to suck balls. Santorin and Jensen have worked together. Armut's, but also might be good in LCS. He might be better than the quality of the LCS caliber player.
Who is the bot lane again?
For Dig,
Yeah.
Spawn and Ignar. Spawn's an up and coming AD carry who's been in academy for the last 2 years, and he's been talked about coming up for a while.
This is a playoff team for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's.
I don't think.
I think Immortals and Golden Guardians are going to have the hardest time getting to the playoffs, but I think the other 8 teams can all qualify very easily.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they won't. I have to because just hearing all the rosters right now is like not enough for me to like truly like imagine. You know what I mean?
I mean, I want 100 Thieves to succeed. That's going to be my team.
Yeah, good lifestyle.
Should we touch on our argument we had over Discord? Because I've never gotten into it with you so much over something, but we were going at it for a little bit on this. So before Someday was just now today, right before we were just talking about all this, right?
He's a bum.
He's not a bum. He's a fucking top
bum
3.
Day.
He's a top 3 later.
Bum day.
Shut up. Be respectful. All right.
Yeah,
so 100 Thieves on their 5th anniversary announced they're starting a Hall of Fame to induct players who have been with the org and helped them find great success in their esports as a way of honoring them, right? And it was already kind of rumored that Someday would be leaving 100 Thieves. So I posted, just like a very nice little thing about, oh, look, they're inducting him into his Hall of Fame. They're starting a Hall of Fame. They're putting somebody in it. That's really cool. And you just start going in about the lack of established pedigree.
No. I said that is silly. I called it silly. I think it's a silly thing to do.
I will read the manuscript out, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's read my first reply because I didn't come in super hot off the bat. I don't think I did.
Let's see. Hang on.
Let's see where this shit.
We're talking about Mao's here. Hang on, we're getting there.
Oh, I said 100T Hall of Fame.
What a weird idea and honor. And they said they have done it for some of their other longtime players in other games. Talking about the 2 COD players, they also inducted, which is this is their start of their whole Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
And then he said, but I respect them for honoring him as a forever member, since it will likely be the end of me. Rumor has he's going to TL or possible. The others, you go, it's just weird since 100 Thieves hasn't accomplished much with him. Like they've won a split, and I don't know if he was on the team then. And he said, just feels kind of dumb overall. I'm like, that. He has been with the team since 2018.
You forget sometimes.
Bro, Liquidpedia exists. You can look at the match history and time.
I still stand by my point. It seems silly.
I think we found common ground eventually, right?
Yeah.
We agreed that, like, okay, maybe it's a little silly for an org that's only been around for 5 years when you compare them to things like Navi or EG or long-established orgs who have been around for 15, 20 years, who have these, especially when you look at their websites, and I'll agree with this, because I did do some investigating like you suggested. You said, dude, just look at them. So I did. And they are much more well put together. They have the whole established history of the org in like every esport they've ever won in, what they even competed in and didn't win in. And I think that's great. But I think if you look at other things too, like other brands, they've done the exact same thing. Like Bjergsen is always going to be associated with a certain era of TSM, and he has been honored there as such. I think other brands in the same space have done the same thing, but I think that like a lot of these brands don't even last anyways. So for them to hit the 5-year mark and then decide this is the time which we're doing it, I think it's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, it just rubs me the wrong way that it's like they don't really show it, and it's a lifestyle brand, and like it's only.
And they say the hoodie org, and I got defensive of the hoodie org thing, right? And I'm gonna be real, it's because I'm now a recent 100 Thieves fan. Listen, I said this a couple episodes ago, straight up. I want to buy enough 100 Thieves merch to actively fund Hey Donna getting back on the internet. That's all I'm saying. I want Will Neff to succeed too as part of that brand. I understand it's a lifestyle thing.
I mean, I think we're in an era where certain teams are going to be standing that test of time, and 100 Thieves is definitely one of them.
Yeah. I think
which is why it feels like such a chicanery and clown move.
I think it's nice because I don't know about the COD players being retained, but I knew someday probably wasn't going to be retained.
50,000 people watch those majors.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Like,
you're not even remotely wrong. Actually, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I bet we could look up the viewership for one of those COD championships.
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
I think 50K is disingenuous.
That was some of the most recent ones.
It's more like 150K probably.
That's awful.
I mean, COD sucks dick, dude.
Yeah, it does. It's always been.
Dude, people are asking me like, "Oh yeah, you played New Warzone at all?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, no, not really. I heard it's good from people who like it. Like, yeah, I'm probably gonna download it." And I'm just like,
you know what you should play? Among Us VR. Like that's
game of the year.
My TikTok feed has been plagued by these 4 random guys who just are torturing children on that game. Like it's Prox chat, right? So they get up like right behind the ears and says, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," and like makes like the scariest noises. And these are children, bro.
Oh
like,
yeah.
5.
Yeah,
you just hear them crying and shit. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Have you seen Donkey's Fortnite babysitting videos?
No.
So these were in the comments of the VR Among Us chat like video that was on like Reddit that had been pushed up for me, right? And then it was like they were like, "Oh, every time Donkey did this in Fortnite," and it's like, what? So there was a game mode back when Among Us was popping in Fortnite. Where
Fortnite like, Among Us.
Yeah, Fortnite agents or whatever it is, agents and imposters, right? So Donkey made videos during that, and let me tell you, that shit was fucking funny. It's
Yeah,
the same thing. The prox chat and fucking with the kids is just too funny. But he
I
wouldn't like
love
be.
it. I
He
love.
wouldn't scare with them. He would just like say funny things. He'd be like, "Yeah, it's me," and he'd say like the kid's name, number 7, me, and he's like, "I am the imposter," and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, vote for number 7." He's like, "That's not me. I'm him," and then they would vote for that guy, like the little kid, and Donkey would get to live. Oh,
But
bro,
I love the videos of somebody like killing someone in broad view of like 5 children, and then he just points at somebody else, and you see that kid like you see the kid crying, and then body ejected like 6 seconds later.
that's funny.
It's good
Uh,
content.
See, I don't. I think I could do Among Us VR if I actually liked VR, but I don't.
Yeah.
Dude, here's a crazy thing. Do you know if you've ever gotten VR sickness?
No.
Okay, have you ever used VR really?
I've used it occasionally, but
Okay.
not enough to get
So there
sickness, I
is
feel
a
like.
sensation like where people do get VR sickness though. There's a reason why. It's because your brain thinks you have been poisoned or like you are on a drug that gives you tripping like effects, right? Because it's the
Yeah.
desync of your movement of your body and your video on audio, right? Like it's because of that desync that your body now thinks that you are tripping like on mushrooms and you're like, "Oh,
Um,
I have ingested poison." So that's why you get sick and your body naturally makes you want to like be
shit.
yes. It's a normal thing apparently. The human
That's
anatomy wants us to reject VR. This is why Among Us is bad. All right, let's wrap up in these last 5 minutes here, real quick, with a little Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let's know more tantalizing teasing. Holy fuck! What a dumpster fire!
I mean, so here's the
No,
thing, like,
bro, unacceptable. You got to
yes,
Game Freak. You have to
yes,
stop churning out games
yes,
with this
yes.
timeline that you're never going to meet. If you could just put 3 more months into it and stop having fucking shit animations, falling through fucking ladders and shit, Pokeballs like stuttering in the air, Pokemon like
Did
disappearing, game files crashing. Like,
did you see that
dude,
softwalk I showed you of like getting trapped on the island or like I told you
yes,
about?
yes, you did.
Oh my gosh,
Dude, there's
that's
so
crazy.
many. There are so many problems with this kind of thing because Game Freak sets an agenda that they have to have one out every year, every 2 years. We have to have new. Bro, slow down. Take your motherfucking time. Get this shit right and make it enjoyable. Because I was so excited to make content on this, and then I started hearing things about it the day or two before, and I'm like, I'll wait and see what happens. What the mass thoughts are. Let me tell you, not so fucking good, bro. Not so
It,
good.
it's
Enough to the point where I am waiting to receive Violet as a Christmas gift, and I will touch it in a month and a half if I get it. And if I don't, I might pick it up after the new year, hoping that they will patch this game to make it right. Nintendo patching a fucking Pokemon game? Probably not going to happen. But I would like them to fix this. Now, what I have heard, to be fair, the things I'm talking about, the graphical issues, have mostly been on handheld mode. And it's mostly on
yeah.
older generation consoles. So if you have an OLED and portable, you're probably fine in handheld mode. And if you're plugged into a dock, you're probably fine. But honestly, how the fuck do you make a game like this? I understand it's not Game Freak making the game anymore. I understand these are
Yeah.
outside companies doing this now. But how the fuck do you not make this
How do
game
you
test? How do you not
give
test
this
it in all modes? How do you
no no
not put this on
how
all?
do you how do you give this the Nintendo seal of approval and say this is ready for launch?
Like, dude,
I think is
The
ultimately what
Switch
you're
Lite
getting.
exists. The Switch Lite has to be a large percentage of total Switches sold, right?
Yeah,
That is always in a portable handheld mode.
yeah.
So how are you not baseline testing your game at that setting and making it good for all of those people to play and then working your way up to the OLEDs where you have the most power? It doesn't make any fucking sense as a point of game design.
I think game companies are quite literally conditioning us to just accept shit games
No,
lately. You know,
I
like what
refuse to.
games how many games come out nowadays where you're just like, yeah, there's some game breaking shit.
When you say
Cyberpunk comes to
when
mind.
you say game breaking, you mean horrible, right? Like bad
Yeah,
problems. Oh, I mean all the
yeah.
time, all the time. There's I was
That's
just
what I'm
I
saying.
thought you were gonna beg the question of how often do you have games that don't present a problem and are good always and don't have buggy issues? And I was gonna say hardly ever, but there's a few every
There's
now
a
and
few
then.
like God of War.
That's what I was gonna
That's
say.
a
God
good
of War Ragnarok is the
God of
AAA
War.
title. I would say that it's
Yeah,
like destroying it right now. The other
yeah.
one for me that like I know I keep toting this up, but Marvel Snap is like a completely new game. I'm gonna keep saying this. Like anyone who has any doubts about
Yeah,
the
but
game
it's
or
a
it being a
mobile game.
mobile, no, it's not. This is a full TCG in my mind, and I'm treating it like
Okay,
Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh. And
okay.
it is the same level of competition. You can't wail for it. You cannot dump a bunch of money. And even if you do dump money, if you buy like the highest pack of gold, $100, you can only buy like roughly I think $10 worth of the actual credit currency with said gold a day. There's a limitation on how much you can convert in one day. So you cannot whale even quickly in this game. You have to put like days of whaling and thought process of time to be able to do it. The only thing I don't like about it, obviously, is most mobile games, they have like timers associated with like either quests or like a resource, right? So every
Yeah.
8 hours. That's what I don't like about mobile games is they need to stop creating windows of time that force me to worry about whether I should sleep more or not. Or sleep less or
Yeah.
not, rather. So if I'm worried about like, oh, there's 6 hours until these quests come back up and I need to be up to collect them, that is not good for me. So Marvel, please, Marvel Snap, for the love of God. Also, they literally put another announcement out about the game today. They are putting an update out next month, and it is releasing more cards. They're changing a financial system to where you can collect the cards in a certain pool of cards that you are actually trying to look for. So you're not trying to RNG it all the way or dump money to RNG, and instead you can actually focus for the one or two.
Secret packs, Master Duel.
It's not how it works. It's not packs. It's your collection level going upward. Like the more you get, the more cards you unlock as you go. But it's RNG through a pool of things. So you have to get all the ones in pool 1 before you get to pool 2, which is like a certain level. At pool 2, you go to pool 3, and then at pool 3 upward, it's like a lot more. But there's a difference in like how it goes financially upward, like how scaling upward works.
Back to the game though.
Yes.
I will say, from like everything that's out and whatnot, and having messed around with the game, like
have you
with my
played
cousins.
It? Oh, they have it?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's the best Switch one. Like it's the best game since Gen 6. Even with these problems.
That's not even okay. Hang on. So are you including Gen 6? Like Gen 6 is better than it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, Gen 6 is way better.
Okay. So I will acknowledge that Gen 6 is that. I think we talked about this like not too long ago. That Gen 6 is the best gen in the last like several. Like it's
to make that transition.
Yeah. 7 was horrible. 8 was mediocre at best.
Yeah.
And then like I think, Let's Go for Gen 4 was pretty good. So I'm gonna refer to it as. It's not Shining Pearl, and it's Let's Go.
Yeah, Dookie Pearl.
I mean, it's fine. It was a good game.
Yeah, it's all right. I gotta trade that
the problem with those. No, what? Keep that shit
for Violet or Scarlet, whatever the red one is.
You're crazy, bro. First off, why are you getting Scarlet over Violet?
The red one.
Why?
Okay, so you haven't seen this dog shit? Some of these Pokemon designs are ass. So the whole idea for the game is past and future. So like Violet is future.
I get it. I understand that part. I'm talking about what is the reason why you would prefer Scarlet over Violet beyond designs.
All the future version of Pokemon in Violet are just chrome with LED eyes.
Oh, I haven't even seen that actually.
Oh, look up Violet Tyranitar.
Violet Tyranitar.
Look up the versions. Look up the versions. You're gonna see exactly what I mean and how fucking dog shit and deplorable it is.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah, you see how they just chromed out my guy Tyranitar?
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing though. I was more thinking about version exclusives. That's like the way I always decide.
These are version exclusives.
I hear you, but there's Cerulean Edge and then there's Armor Edge, right? Or whatever they are. The two ghosties. Yeah, Armor Rouge sucks dick. Cerulean Edge is so much. Bro, he looks like a fucking.
Salamence.
Yeah, but so you sound like
these fucking stupid little twink ass ghosts. Like, nah, bro.
Violet, Scarlet exclusives list.
Yes. Just tell me. How
I've looked
better.
No, I've looked at this before. Okay. Let's see. Scarlet version exclusives. So Miss Magius, right? That's in Violet, so get fucked there. That's already one for me. Tyranitar and Hydreigon. Okay, those are pretty good. Dragleg can suck my dick. Armor Age can suck my dick harder. Koraidon is completely whack compared to Miraidon. Just gonna say that. Miraidon's such a cooler Pokemon.
Dude, that thing. It just has LED eyes. It's all chromed out.
Suryu Edge, pretty good. Dragapult, insane. Salamence is a Violet exclusive.
Wait, no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is it?
Hydreigon and Tyranitar are Scarlet.
Wait, what about the Roaring Moon thing?
I don't know.
How are you supposed to? Yeah, because like I'm talking about those exclusives.
What are they?
Like the old like yeah.
Oh,
So like
Screaming Tail, Brute Bonnet, Fluttermane, Slitherwing, Sandy
those
Shocks,
are
Roaring
all
Moon,
better than whatever crap is in
Iron
Violet.
Bundle, Iron Hands, Iron Jugulis, Iron Moth, Iron Thorns, Iron Valiant. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was making my decision and looking at these, I legitimately overlooked all of those in my decision making process. I saw them, I just stopped caring about them
Yeah.
because I was like, who do I care about more? And I'm like, well, I do love Hydreigon. That is probably one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon ever.
Yeah.
But we'll say Salamence has got a special place in my heart, even though I just made
That
fun of him.
roaring crescent or whatever.
Dragapult is an insanely good Pokemon.
It is good.
Yeah, dude. I have to send you this video after we finish recording here in a minute. But there is a condensed version of Leon and Ash's battle that is like all of just the fight parts and like the acceleration and pacing of the fight. It's like 13 minutes long. Damn, that shit's hype. Like,
Dude, it's crazy. Since these new games released though, Smogon released an emergency ban on a Pokemon.
what game or what Pokemon?
You want to guess?
Uh,
I'll just tell you. It's the Brave Dog evolution.
which one?
The dog that has a tombstone on its head or whatever. The ghost dog Pokemon.
Ghost Dog Pokemon. Oh, Grievard.
Yeah, it's evolution and it are banned.
Okay. What does this thing do?
It has a move that gains 50 power for each fainted party member. And its base is 50.
Excuse me?
Yeah, so it does. If it's the last Pokemon on your team, it's base 300 power, and it gets Sand Rush.
Why? Who did this? Who decided to make this thing? He's abominable. He's making our fucking thumbnail.
He's great. He's a monster, bro. Like,
but dude, hang on.
Was legal. Somebody climbed the ladder.
How can you tell me that Koraidon is better than Miraidon?
It's not.
Thank you.
That was legit.
Yeah. All right, you sign me up. You're good. You can play Scarlet and Joy the way you want to now. I am no longer mad.
I don't care about the bikes.
Dude, are they bikes? Is that what they technically are? And they're not Pokemon you fight with?
I mean, I'm sure you do at some point.
He's an electric dragon. I like him. He's cool.
He's your whip first.
And with that, we're out, boys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. See you later.